Does the king's Indian attack typically lead to a development advantage? Imagine sitting across the chessboard, contemplating your next move. You are in a position where every decision can shape the outcome of the game. One opening that has intrigued players for decades is the king's Indian attack. But does this strategy really provide a development advantage? To understand this, we first need to look at the structure of the king's Indian attack. It is characterized by a flexible pawn structure and a focus on piece development, particularly the knights and bishops. The setup usually involves pawns on e4 and d3, with the knight on f3 and the bishop on e2 or g2. This formation allows for a harmonious development of pieces while maintaining control over the center of the board. In many cases, players using the king's Indian attack can develop their pieces quickly and efficiently. The pawn structure supports the knights and bishops, enabling them to be active early in the game. This can lead to a situation where the player is able to launch an attack before their opponent has fully developed their pieces. However, the effectiveness of this opening can vary depending on the opponent's response. If the opponent is well prepared and counters effectively, they can challenge the king's Indian attack and potentially gain an advantage in development themselves. The flexibility of the king's Indian attack means that it can be adapted to various responses, but it also requires a good understanding of the resulting positions. Moreover, the king's Indian attack often leads to a slower buildup of tension on the board. This can sometimes allow the opponent to catch up in development if they play accurately. Therefore, while the king's Indian attack can lead to a favorable development for the player employing it, it is not guaranteed. In conclusion, the king's Indian attack has the potential to provide a development advantage, especially if executed well and met with less optimal responses from the opponent. However, the outcome largely depends on the player's understanding of the position and their ability to navigate the complexities that arise during the game.